All right. Good evening, guys. Thanks again so much for being here for our team call tonight. And tonight, Melissa is going to do a little bit of product knowledge, and she's going to go ahead and start the call off.
Hello.
Oh, wait. Are you there?
Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Tonight we're going to go over Accelerator and Boost. I figured I'd do them both together because they're very, very, very similar. And as you all should know, and if you don't know, this is very important, you cannot take both of them at the same time. They're the only two products that we have on our entire line that are not meant to be taken together. So your customers need to know they have to pick one or the other, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what they do as a general product, the common ingredients that they have, and then we'll go over each one separately and tell you what the differences are, because I imagine that the biggest trouble that we run into is deciding which one to recommend for each one of our customers. So first, I kind of wanted to define what these products actually are, because you've probably heard two different terms that probably get a little confusing to you if you're not used to them. That's a thermogenic and a fat burner. In essence, to be honest with you, they're the same exact thing. In the long run, they help aid in weight loss. They get you over plateaus. They help burn your body fat. It's just the way that they actually work is what defines them differently. A thermogenic actually increases your internal temperature in your body by increasing your heart rate, your blood pressure, things like that, that actually in the long run burns more calories and more body fat. That's what a thermogenic is. A fat burner actually focuses on hormonal changes in your body. So it'll focus on things in your body that are going to increase your body fat reduction or your metabolism. Things like green coffee, chromium, things that work on insulin, things like that. Those are going to be your fat burners. So when we're talking about these two products, I know that some people categorize them separately. They both have ingredients that are thermogenics and fat burners. So to me, they are both thermogenics and fat burners. Again, it'll make more sense to go over the specific ingredients.
Melissa, can you talk a little bit slower, please?
I haven't even had caffeine today. Excuse me. I'm running on adrenaline here. Okay, so do I need to repeat any of that?
No. Is everybody able to hear her okay?
There's no more.
All right. I think you're great.
Okay. Again, and very important to know, I don't know, Susie, am I breaking up to everybody? Can everybody else hear me, or is it breaking up?
It's breaking up.
Joe hears me. Well, hopefully the recording will be able to go back and hear everything. I don't know. I can't really do anything except for take.
And now she's frozen. Gotta love technology.
Yeah. Okay. I turned my Wi-Fi back on. Sorry, guys. This is the best we got for tonight.
Yeah.
So can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just take it away.
Okay. All right. So the Accelerator and Boost, again, they are not to be taken together because a lot of their ingredients are overlapping. Okay. So they both have stimulants in them. They actually both have several stimulants in them, including natural sources of caffeine. So it's very, very important to not take both of them at the same time. That being said, you can do 1 month of one and 1 month of another one the next month. You can switch back and forth, but just not at the same time. Being that they have stimulants, this is a no-no for people that are breastfeeding or currently pregnant. Also, you need to be aware that anyone with blood pressure issues needs to speak to their doctor before taking these products. Caffeine in general can stimulate your blood pressure and increase your blood pressure. So we don't want to really go down that road. So make sure that anybody with blood pressure issues is aware that there is caffeine in a stimulant in these products. Again, these are companions to Slim, so they are meant to be taken along with Slim. They will not be as effective on their own. I can tell you that. They're very simple formulas. I love them, but they're very simple. They're designed to be taken with Slim to get the full effect. Ingredients that are in both your basic ingredients: chromium, B12, folic acid, niacin, basic things like that we've already gone over. A few of the very important ingredients: yerba mate. If you guys have never heard of yerba mate or had the tea before, I highly suggest looking into this. Yerba mate, I read a quote today that says it has the strength of coffee, the health benefits of tea, and the euphoria of chocolate. So it's kind of one of those super antioxidant teas that does all kinds of things for your body. It has over 24 vitamins and minerals just in yerba mate alone, 15 amino acids, and a wide variety of antioxidants. And in fact, it has more antioxidants than green tea, which is very well known as an antioxidant. That's in both products. Another thing in both products is called, I'm going to butcher this, hygienemine, which is a citrus peel. It comes from the tangerine peel, and it's been shown to aid in weight loss and increase the energy that your body is actually burning, which is how it's going to aid in your weight loss. Again, that's in both products. We also have green tea in both products, which is obviously a source of caffeine and a pretty powerful antioxidant for protecting your cells. As far as accelerator goes, the main difference with this one is going to be an ingredient called 5-HTP. If you guys are not familiar with 5-HTP, I would definitely look it up. This is a mood enhancer. It's an amino acid, a naturally occurring amino acid that a lot of people use for depression, anxiety, seasonal affect disorder, things like that. I've even known people to use it for panic attacks, to help with sleep, things like that. It is a mood stabilizer. One thing about it to know is it does mix with some antidepressant medications or anti-anxiety meds. So although there's not a huge amount of 5-HTP in this, that's something that you need to be aware of if you have customers that are on antidepressant medications, because it does have the possibility of interacting with them. But Accelerator is obviously designed to speed up your weight loss process, especially when you're reaching any plateaus. Most of us that have tried to lose weight, at some point we have a lot of really good results, and then we'll hit a plateau. And that's when I personally would introduce an accelerator or a boost. I don't personally believe in starting with it. I believe in starting with triplex, getting your body healthy, back functioning the way it's meant to function. See how much weight a person can lose that way. If they want to then add in something to get over a plateau, that's when you would introduce the accelerator. That's how I work it anyways. Every 2 pills of accelerator has 20 to 25 milligrams of caffeine in it. Let me see here. It also has an ingredient called hortamine, which has thermogenic and stimulant properties as well. And also hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry is a very popular herb that's actually really good for your heart. The reason it actually helps with weight loss as well, but it's really good for your heart. So I kind of wanted to mention the extra benefits that it has. It has heart protecting antioxidants, helps with stress, cholesterol, and in some cases has actually been shown to possibly prevent liver disease. So again, a very good ingredient that's kind of randomly thrown in here because it does help with weight loss, but you'll get a lot more out of this product than just weight loss. When somebody is taking accelerator, there's one thing that we discovered very quickly after I started this. The instructions are a little confusing. The instructions on accelerator are going to tell you to take it 30 minutes after you eat. But then if you look at the accelerator and slim combo package, it says take it with slim. I can personally tell you that it needs to be taken with food while eating to be at its best advantage. If you take something with caffeine on an empty stomach, it could possibly cause jitters for some people. Some people, it doesn't bother them at all, but that's just something to be aware of for people that are very sensitive to caffeine, that taking it with food will kind of dial down the effects of the stimulant so they won't get those jitters. It's recommended to start with 1 and you can move up to two, one pill twice per day, both with breakfast and lunch. And again, this is meant to be taken along with your Slim. I personally tell my people to take Slim 30 minutes before they eat and then take their Accelerator with breakfast or with lunch. Boost is very similar. It is considered a thermogenic and it has more thermogenic properties. So for those of you that have taken it, you might have noticed a little more energy. To me, it gives you a lot more energy, even though the caffeine content is exactly the same as Accelerator. It's 20 to 25 milligrams in every 2 pills. But I can tell you from my personal experience, I was a caffeine junkie. I loved coffee. I loved energy drinks. I would drink, 1 or 2 every single day, no matter what, in addition to my coffee, maybe even some caffeine pills because I needed that to keep going. I have 1 boost a day and it gets me through the day for most days. And that's actually really, really, really huge for me to not have to rely on energy drinks anymore. So if you have people that go to the gym a lot, they exercise, they're very active in their lifestyle, they're used to drinking a lot of coffee or energy drinks, Boost is a very, very, very good product to introduce them to. I know a lot of people that have cut down on their caffeine content just by taking Boost, not even necessarily along with Slim. This is also very good as a pre-workout. Again, to me, it gives you a lot more energy than what the Accelerator did. I've tried both. I didn't really feel too much energy from the Accelerator, but I do from Boost. One very big difference in this one is it contains an ingredient called Caralluma fabreata. That is from a cactus. It's been used for decades by people in Eastern India for when they were hunting and gathering. It is an appetite suppressant. So they would eat a little bit of this cactus plant and it would actually suppress their appetite for hours. It's also been said to sustain energy throughout the day. So to me, that makes sense why you don't feel a crash like you do from a lot of other energy drinks and things with caffeine in them. I personally never feel a crash with this. So the Caralluma, if you have somebody that is a snacker and they're not getting a full benefit, the full decrease in cravings from Slim, this might be another option for them. Due to the Caralluma being the appetite suppressant. Let me see here. And Kelly actually mentioned this at a meeting, that for people that aren't very active and they take Boost, it might actually have a tendency to make them more tired. I cannot tell you why that happens because that's never happened to me because I'm pretty active. But she did mention that. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there for you guys just in case you have some feedback like that in the future from customers. Now, again, the biggest thing with these 2 products, because again, they're very similar. Most of the ingredients, as you can tell, actually overlap. So the biggest thing is who needs what? If you have somebody that comes to you and they say they want to lose weight and they're very depressed about it, they've had some anxiety issues, they have some depression issues, I would immediately go to Accelerator. Again, keep in mind that if they're on any type of medications, that is something that needs to be discussed with their doctor. Another telltale sign is how much energy are they used to? If you're talking to somebody that says they want energy, but they've never had an energy drink or a cup of coffee in their life, do not give them Boost because it's not going to go over well for them. They're going to get very jittery and their heart rate will start to increase because it's a thermogenic. So it's probably going to make them somewhat uncomfortable. But if you have somebody like me who loves energy drinks and loves caffeine, Boost is the way to go. Accelerator is not going to do it for somebody like me. And the third thing to kind of differentiate them is, again, appetite suppressant. Again, if you have somebody that's snacking a lot or that feels like they're hungry all the time. And by the way, guys, feeling hungry is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of times that's your metabolism increasing. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if they're snacking on chips and things like that throughout the day, then the Caralluma and the Boost might be something that they would be interested in. And again, Boost is more for people that are looking for extreme energy before their workouts, things like that. This is not going to make a fit person lose their muscle. It's not like that. It's going to help burn their body fat versus their muscle, just like all of our products. So if you have someone that's not looking to, let's say, get skinny, but they're looking to get leaner, these are wonderful products for them. I don't really have too much else on these because they're two very similar products. So if anybody has any questions or if you missed something because my internet was cutting in or out, please let me know. Speak on up.
If you want to speak up, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Anyone have any questions about those two products?
What was that last part she said about it? The very, very last part.
I don't know which which part. I was talking about how to differentiate between the two.
Just the last 3 sentences you just said, whatever that was.
I think I was just talking about the Boost is very good for people that are exercising and very active versus the Accelerator. The Accelerator might be more for somebody that's looking to be more active, but they're not currently active. I think that was the last thing that I really said.
That it might, you want to be careful if they're on medication, that they need to consult with their physician.
Accelerator, correct. Yeah, if they're on any antidepressants or either one of the for high blood pressure. If they have high blood pressure, they should talk to a doctor before trying either one of these.
Okay. No, it was about losing body fat or not losing body fat. That part.
Oh, I was saying that you're going to run across people that, from the gym industry or people that are that are in really good shape already. And they're going to be scared because once they hear thermogenic or fat burner, they're going to think, well, I'm not trying to get skinny.
Okay.
So for people to get leaner, this is not, lean is different than skinny. You don't want to lose muscle that these people have worked so hard to build up, that these two products are going to stimulate fat loss, not muscle loss.
Okay. Okay.
It's still, there's a lot of bodybuilders, figure competitors, bikini competitors, gym rats, people like that do take these two products as either pre-workouts or just something to continue to increase their metabolism. Don't let them get scared off because it's labeled a fat burner. That's why I was kind of trying to tell you the difference between fat burners and thermogenics. A lot of people are afraid of the word fat burner because they don't think they need to lose weight. It's not about weight. It's about body fat.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? We're good on those two topics? On those two products, I mean? I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again so much, Melissa.
You're welcome.
All right. So we have right now, the momentum that we have been doing overall as a team has really been amazing. And I just want to say great job to every single one of you that has been going out there, sharing, and getting a sell and adding a new ambassador to our team. So I want to make sure that we kind of keep this momentum going. And I know there's some of you guys that are trying to promote to silver, promote to gold. And I just want to make sure that we all understand how to do that. So I know, throughout this past week and past couple of days, some of you guys have been asking questions as far as being commission qualified, having your backup order in place, considered yourself an active ambassador. So these are kind of just the basic housekeeping rules and kind of topics that I want to talk about and discuss with each and every single one of you as you share and, with your team. So for an example, Susie was asking about somebody, she's trying to promote to gold this month with her team. And she has somebody that just joined today. Let's just say that she joined today and she signed somebody else. It took me a while to understand this as well. So if you're promoting to silver and you sign somebody, say for an example, throughout this whole entire month, it can be any day, but as long as it's in the month of March, and they purchase a welcome pack, that does count to help you promote to silver. The company calls those mock points. So if you, say for an example, you find 3 people that sign on your team and they all 3 buy a welcome pack, that does count to help you promote to silver, but they also have to have their backup order in place And they have to also, you also have to be commission qualified. Does that make sense to
What
everyone?
makes you commission qualified again? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Commission qualified is either by you purchasing your own product out of your back office or a customer purchasing from your website. So commission qualified is you hitting your 100 PV.
Okay.
You know, and by when I say active, I mean, it means that you're telling the company that your backup order is in place, you're an active ambassador, and you want to get paid. In order for you to get paid, you have to have your backup order on. Now, I know for some people, a lot of people do get confused with the backup order. You know, you just remind them that we can go in their back office and delete it at any point of time. There is no hidden penalties. There are no consequences. It's just that if somebody's trying to promote to silver, or if they're wanting and expecting to get paid, or if they sign an ambassador and somebody buys a welcome pack and their backup order is not in place, you're a white line in the back office. You're not active. You're not going to get paid. So I just want to make sure that, does that all make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I first joined, I had no idea about the mock points and like the welcome packs. And that also pertains to those who are trying to fast start to gold. In the first 30 days, you know, for an example, promoting to gold is 20 people. And so whether they buy a welcome pack or get commission qualified does also help and satisfy to fast start to gold.
What's mock points and what's pay points?
The mock points are the welcome packs. So for an example, that's the only time that when you're trying to hit a rank, so for silver, that your welcome packs count to help to promote.
I've been telling anybody if they want to be on my team, they need to get a welcome pack.
And that's fine because she just joined 2 days ago. I call her Ace. There we go. This is Angelina's new ambassador, and she is located out of the Orlando area. I'm so sorry. I probably should have introduced earlier.
Oh, no.
But so yeah, so you trying to fast start to gold and you trying to promote to silver, the welcome packs does help you get to those ranks.
So my people need to have their welcome packs and their backup order, and I need to be commission qualified.
Yes. And say for an example, like your mom didn't buy a welcome pack, but she bought product from you. So she bought the triplex combo, and the triplex combo is our only combo pack as an ambassador that we buy that we hit our 100 PV. Does everybody understand that? So as an ambassador, we get the cheapest of the price. You know,
she still needs to buy a welcome pack.
No, I mean, she can if she chooses to be. That's another thing is from the time that you join, you have 60 days to buy a welcome pack. So anyone, you know, you could, like for an example, when I joined, I paid $35 and then I bought my welcome pack, but then I also hit my 100 PV. So you can do that all in 1 month, whether it be through you ordering more product or by you getting another customer. Right. So you can really do as you wish. The minimum is 100 PV.
Okay.
So sorry.
So gold is 20. What's silver?
I'm sorry, Ace, what?
Gold, you said, is 20. What's silver?
Silver is just 3 people.
Oh, so I'm almost.
Yeah. So, but I just want to make sure that, like, for an example, Tracy's trying to promote to gold. Now, when she's trying to promote to gold, anybody that joins her team, they now have to become commission qualified. Welcome packs do not count as mock points. Like, they don't count for her to promote to her next rank. All right? And another thing is that I know for myself, as people join, they may end up falling off and may not be working the business as much. They may not be working the business at all anymore. We have to make sure it's our job that if they're no longer working the business, that they delete their backup order. I'll explain this to you on a separate call because I'm sure this is going to confuse you.
Okay.
It made me confuse some of the girls. I know that as we're growing and as you start to build your team, things will start to make more sense to you. I know that's when things started to fall into place for me when I, started to get the compensation plan and when I started to get the pay points. Some of these, I think there's like 1 or 2 newbies here, and some of you have already been with us for at least a year within the company, so you guys probably already understand this. But I don't think I've ever, as a leader, has explained this to you guys as a team. So, for an example, I had somebody in my downline that was on Brian's team. He is no longer working the business, and he has his backup order. He had his backup order in place. So, in my back office, it was showing him as an active ambassador. But his credit card information that was on file was invalid. So that hurts us as a team, and that hurts us overall as, in the company. Because as you all know, how one of the ways we get paid is by the profit sharing and by the pay points. And so for him, what the company does is how we get paid is overall, what our sales were as a company, as a whole. Plexus Worldwide divides that out to all the active ambassadors. Okay, so for an example, he is showing as an active ambassador in the back office, but he did not contribute his 100 PV. So we're counting him in that pot, and he had no contribution. So like I have a couple, and that's why it's also important that as your team grows and they have a backup order in place, like I went through, this is why sometimes, towards the end of the month, it does get time consuming, but it'll be worth it, that somebody had their backup order in place and it did not get shipped to them. So I go in, I click on their name, and I go under their order history, and it says, it will say like entered status, but not paid. So that means that their credit card that's on file is invalid. So we as a leader need to either touch base and follow up with that ambassador to say, hey, I see that your backup order did not get processed. Were you wanting it to get processed? If so, we need to do something about it. And if not, then we need to turn off your backup order. So those are just a couple key things to keep in mind. Have I lost anyone? Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
That's only if their payment is invalid, though, right? Because I have a few people on my team who aren't working the business. They are not answering to any messages that we're sending, but their auto ship is going through every single month.
Now, are they getting the product shipped to them?
Well, I would assume so, because I've never heard that they aren't. I mean, it's never come back, and I have no way of knowing.
Are you getting? You do. Are you getting points for them? Then yes. Then they're odd. If they're just at the bare minimum and their backup order is getting shipped, and you're getting points, and you're getting the points for them, then yes, it is being processed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell all of us. Like I can go in my back office and click on each of your guys' name and see your order history. So like for an example, Bev was missing some product out of her package that she had placed an order. I ended up calling customer service and we got it handled. They reshipped it to her. I went in her I went and clicked on her name and I saw that they were reshipping just the Ease capsules. So you can even go, even if it's a auto order, a backup order, we can still go in and clicking on their name and go under order history and see that, we can see what they're ordering. It will say like auto order or backup order, or it will give out the list of products if they manually placed an order. So And sometimes, like if I know an ambassador joined as a wholesale, I'll click on their name, see what products they order, and then I'll touch base with them and say, hey, how are the products working out? I see that you ordered X, Y, and Z. So I like that we can see like the order history. But only for, like, I can only see what you guys order as ambassadors. I can't see what your customers order. All right. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. And also something that a lot of the jewels, you know, try to help the team overall is the sooner you guys we all get commission qualified, as you continue to move up throughout the company, the sooner that people get commission qualified throughout the team helps gauge your overall points where you are. So I think that, and you know, and then it also alleviates that stress at the end of the month of you trying to either get commission qualified or have an ambassador. So one of the first things I always do is I always try to have at least, you know, some product on hand. I don't have like a huge stock, but I always try to have like one extra of, you know, the most popular products. Like for an example, I got a Facebook message tonight. Somebody asked me, hey, do you have an extra bottle of probiotic? Because, and she's an ambassador. She was like, because I want to start it now, and, you know, I don't know how long it's going to ship. So I'll go ahead and give her my bottle of probiotic, and then she'll go ahead and order hers, and then she'll just give me her bottle when she gets hers, or she'll just give me cash. So having extra products on hand, you know, I got a message over the weekend, somebody asking me for Plexus Ease capsules. That's not something that I usually have on hand. So I had to reach out to another ambassador to see if they had it on hand. So these are things that I'm starting to learn, to try to have at least one product of each of our products, that if anybody of our friends or family or even our team members need an extra bottle, that I have that readily available for you guys, and we can either do the exchange or you guys just pay me the same amount that us ambassadors pay. So that's also something else to keep in mind. And so I know that I shared with the team that I have a friend that owns a t-shirt company. He's kind of fairly new. And so I've been kind of working with the guy that's handling the business and getting us like team t-shirts, or just getting us t-shirts. And so what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start building supply. So you may not get it like the day that that you earned the t-shirt. Maybe either by the end of the month or the following month, because I'll be ordering them in dozens. But what I'm going to start doing to help our team is if you guys get commission qualified by, the 10th of each month, I'm going to get you a free swag t-shirt or a hat. I know that a lot of us don't have like a whole lot of supply of t-shirts. I know for myself, I only have like a handful, and every single time I leave the house, I like it to be, I like to wear something Plexus. Like today, somebody asked me what my shirt said. And, so those are the reasons why it's important that either you leave the house with either a sample or you are wearing Plexus swag. So as your guys' leader, I'm going to try to build a supply of t-shirts, and I'm going to start having them hopefully on hand. And as you guys become commission qualified by the 10th of the month, you guys will earn yourselves a free t-shirt or even potentially like a basic hat. And honestly, I mean, being that he owns a t-shirt business, if there's a certain product that you want, like he showed me some cinch backpacks, like the super easy basic ones, we can get those made with something on it. I mean, I don't want to get all too crazy here, but I know some of you guys are just starting, and some of you have like a very small supply of Plexus swag. So I'm more than willing to, if there's a certain product that you want or you would like, prefer a hat over a t-shirt or a tank top, when you guys get commission qualified, message me. and then let me know, and then I'm going to start, keeping in order, taking orders, so to speak, for that. So yes, Joe, Man Ambassador t-shirts. But was there any questions? I know I as much as I do all the talking, I would just want to make sure that everyone has any questions. I know, Ace, you're kind of new, so you're probably full of questions. So anytime that you have a little bit more questions, we can always do some one-on-one. But I just want to make sure how's everyone doing?
I'm great. I'm waiting for you to let Angelina go so she can help me with this next person here.
Yes.
I'm still getting the hang of it.
Oh, speaking of that, I just want to say that 3-ways. I can't tell you how important 3-ways are. We got Ace to join our team from a 3-way. Randy has Kelly and I in a 3-way message right now, and he's like, what do I need to do? So, what's his first step? So anytime you're talking to a potential, throw any, don't just throw, not literally throw, but reach out to Melissa, myself, Kelly, or, I know that Amanda Dickerson is another one of my sideline buddies that helps me a lot in our team. Reach out to any of us and say, hey, are you available for a 3-way? I can't tell you how, still to this day, I, even 2 years in the business, get a little bit nervous about doing the 3-ways. That's because it's been a long time since I've had somebody do a 3-way conversation with me. So sometimes every now and then I ask Melissa or Amanda or Kelly to do a 3-way conversation with me, just to make sure that I keep building my confidence and I'm still, on the right page as far as how I approach, our friends and our family, and I'm asking the right questions. So like Melissa, she is amazing at product, but sometimes she's like a little bit, hesitant on the business side of it. So that's where she turns to maybe Kelly and I to share about the business. So,
can I add something to that?
Yes.
Well, obviously, everybody, that's my dad that's on the 3-way conversation right now. And like Amanda said, the reason he came to me and I actually told him to reach out to Amanda or Kelly because it was specifically business stuff. And I just feel like the third-party validation is more important coming from a couple people who have been a little bit more successful than myself. But this is what we did, and we've mentioned this before. But I think a lot of our problems are we're asking to have a 3-way conversation. And so when my dad came to me and said, okay, this guy wants information, what do I do? This is what I told him to do, and it worked perfectly. Message Kelly and Amanda, make sure they're available. Then he messaged this guy and just said, hey, thank you for reaching out to me. Do you have a few minutes to chat on private message? Didn't say anything about Amanda or Kelly. Just said, do you have a few minutes so I can give you the information? The guy said, yeah, of course. He just immediately started a 3-way conversation. Our problem a lot of times is asking, because that puts the other person on the spot. It makes them nervous. And I'd say about 80% of the time, they're going to say, no, I'll do it later. We'll do it a different time. So we're trying this route of not really asking. Of course, you want to make sure that they're available at that point in time, but more of, hey, do you have time to chat with me? And then just go ahead and introduce them to the other person. That way they don't have the opportunity to tell you, no, I'll do it later, if that makes sense. And that worked perfectly for him tonight.
Yeah. And, like for an example, Trish just had a 3-way last week, and she's somebody that is in the same. So what I like to try to do is I try to ask about who that potential is. What is their background? Or kind of like, obviously they share a little bit who they know or what their background is. And so I threw myself, Trish, and Melissa in a 3-way message, and Melissa ended up getting to speak and share about her background. And Trish's cousin had that similar background, or she has those similar interests, so they connected on the same level. So that goes to show even more of the third party validation. So for an example, Ace is trying to get one of her friends or one of her friends from somebody that does It Works. and so I try to go on our team page and I try to find, and I just type in wraps. You guys need to use the search, go on our team page and search things. And so I go and click on wraps because majority of the time somebody's already asked, hey, is anybody here former It Wraps? Or is anybody here from, X, Y, and Z company? And majority of the time somebody is. And so like I found somebody, sent them a message last night and said, hey, I have a friend, I have a girl on my team that's trying to talk to somebody from It, It Works. Do you mind doing a 3-way message with us? So depending on what their background is, depending on what their background is, I try to connect them with somebody that has that same background so they can have that relationship and they understand like, hey, this person does know what they're talking about. So, and as we do and continue to do these 3-way conversations, if you haven't had like a sell or, or they haven't joined your team yet, make sure we're following up. Angelina had her first customer from a 3-way conversation, and we went back and forth a couple of times before she ordered. So I just want to say that in this business, do not overanalyze it. Do not overcomplicate it. The information, this business is, obviously learning the basics about our products, but you don't have to know everything, and you can always help, reach out to your leaders. But basically, we're reaching out and we're sharing with our friends and our family. We're getting ourselves in 3-way conversations and we're following up. That's the business. And then what you choose to do, if you want to go above and beyond by attending events or by having your own opportunity events, by all means, those are, that's what I want for you guys. I want us all to grow, and I want you guys all to, see the financial freedom that this company has. And I know for some of you, you guys have already got a little taste of it, and that's why you're still here to this day, why you're pushing, why you're pushing your business and why you're sharing a bit more. One thing that we have to remind ourselves is not to compare ourselves, not to compare your journey to a lot of the other people. So I know that it's sometimes it does get discouraging on yourself, and then you get yourself in a negative mindset. So it's important that when you start to feel that way, message me, or also I think that I shared in the team page, start to write down positive affirmations. I know we talk about it. It's like one of those things where we're constantly, people say, write down positive affirmations, or, go read a book. They recommend all these books that we're reading, but we don't do it. Like, as much as I've been 2 years in this business, I will start reading a book and I have yet to finish one. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me, so I'm trying to do more within myself to make sure that whatever I ask of you guys, I'm doing it as well. So one of the first steps that I did was, I don't know how many of my friends, that are in this business that told me, hey, write down positive affirmations, write them down, do this and do that. And I never really followed through with it. And I finally followed through with it, and I started putting them around my mirror. And when I have a moment of weakness, or I have a bad day, I go to my little moments of where I put those positive affirmations and I just try to read them. And I'll tell you, like, sometimes if I have a really bad day, maybe I'm not quite there yet, but when I'm just, having a little bit of a moment of weakness and I'm comparing myself, I'm able to get myself out of that, that negative feeling, and I put my big girl panties on and I go to work. So I just think that I just want to make sure that you guys all can do the same, even if it's 5 small affirmations. Put them somewhere throughout your house, throughout your bathroom, whatever your favorite, positive words are, just do it, because it's super easy. Just as in life, sometimes we have ups and downs. It is the same as in this business. And none of you guys have given up. So I thank you guys so much for not giving up and still being here, a year, 6 months later. Some of you probably wish you were here for almost 2 years. Tracy. So if you have a friend or a family member that you can go to and say, hey, I want you on my team. Sometimes you may, if you have that relationship with them, then do it. I've been able to do it with a couple of my friends, and one of them is, one of my rock stars, Tracy. I told her for about a month, Tracy, you need to sign, you need to join, we need to do this. And I finally just kind of was like, I'm done preaching it to her. And then now she tells me, hey, you should have grabbed my credit card and signed me up. So it really just depends on who you want on your team. And if you have that relationship with them and you feel that they're really have, a lot of positive benefits that you want on your team, then maybe have a sit down and a heart to heart with them and just say, hey, just give me 6 minutes of your time, 6 minutes, 6 months of this, and see if you like it. So that's pretty much all for tonight. I kind of just wanted to keep it basic, go over some housekeeping stuff. Was there any questions or anything that you guys had? Don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is a stupid question. Because somebody else that may have a question that doesn't want to speak up may also have that same question. You always have a question.
Oh, yeah, put me out like that. I do have a question. Okay, so how often do you guys come up with a new product? Because I know once I start, I already have an idea of who I'm going to sell what to. But I asked Angelina, because I work next to the gym, you guys have protein bars? Is it likely that you're going to come up with? How often do they introduce new things?
Kind of like once a year that I've been able to. So I think it was at
Convention. Yep.
So convention, our Mega X is our newest product. And so they released that at convention.
Mega X, that's the one for sleep.
That's the Omega.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Omegas 3, 5, 9, and then plus 5 and 7, I believe.
And that's good for brain and triglycerides and sleep. But
yeah.
It's like the one that's from the flower, not the fish.
The ahi flower, yes. So if Melissa, I know since we're talking about that real quick, I'm going to throw Melissa on the spot. A lot of people say that, and she probably knows what I'm going to ask too. She knows me. A lot of people say,
working in the pharmacy, the fish oil is the key thing that helps with a lot.
Well, that's one thing that omegas or whatever, and that's where a lot of people that are either allergic to fish or don't like fishy burps, that's why we like to push ours, is because it's a plant-based. It's not fish. So you don't have any fishy burps.
And that's good for high cholesterol. People with high cholesterol.
So a lot of people say that they sleep very well on the Mega X. And so I know some people didn't know that you can take it at night. I love my Mega X. I take it at night. And I want Melissa just to share a tidbit of why people sleep good, because a lot of people, that's the one thing that we talk about Mega X. So she's going to make her little quick comment.
Well, it has to do with serotonin in the brain, but I kind of wanted to touch on the difference between fish oil and what omegas actually are, because you will get some feedback, and we haven't gone over this product yet, Ace, so this will be one that will be coming up soon. I can do it next week if you guys want. But one thing about our particular plant-based omega, fish oil has your DHA, and that is what most people get health benefits from. And so you're going to get some concern as far as, well, your plant-based omega does not have your DHA, which I assume is what Ace was getting at.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of insurance companies they are no longer covering these Lovasa and omega-3 fish oil things. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to go ahead and push that, because it's no longer covered for my patients, but a key ingredient for them is the fish oil. So without that.
Yeah, the DHA specifically, because you can get EPA from plant sources. And what I was going to say is, if once we're going over the different ingredients, ours is not your typical. Okay, mainly your plant-based omegas are going to be flaxseed, chia, lecithin, things like that. Ours is not that basic. Ours has something called SDA in it, which your body can actually convert to EPA and to DHA. So that is that's very different. And again, Ace, I'll go over that one next week if you guys want, since it's one of our newer ones and there seems to be a lot of questions about it. I'm actually just learning a lot about it as well, because I was huge on fish oil when I had my vitamin store. It was one of my favorite products.
And now I can even recommend it to pregnant people because they said it's good for people that are carrying too. Before it wasn't, but new studies show that it actually is now.
They're saying it's not?
It is now.
Okay.
I mean, the studies change all the time, but now it is. Before it wasn't. But now they actually help.
Yeah, the DHA is supposed to be for fetal brain development. That's why.
Brain development for the fetus.
But I will tell you that a lot of doctors are approving our Omega X as their omega supplement because we have that SDA in it. It's not your typical linoleic acid, alpha linoleic acid, things like that you're going to find in your flax seeds and your typical ones that you get at the vitamin store. This one is totally different. So in the meantime, if you want to kind of look up I think it's SDA. If you go on our site, I can't remember what plant it's from, but it's from a specific plant. And it's very rare to actually have in products. And it's somewhat new.
Hawaiian plant or something.
It converts at a higher rate than any of the other regular plant-based omegas. So that's why it's definitely a good one, but it can be converted into DHA and EPA.
Yes, thank you, Melissa. All right, it's already 10:02, so I try to do the best to keep it at an hour. So does everyone have any questions? If you do, please feel free to send me a personal message or send it to your sponsor. But thank you guys again so much, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's have a outstanding month. We added overall, like on our team, 63 people, and our sales were like 66,000. So we jumped from, I want to say we jumped like 15,000 in sales overall from January to February. So make sure we are reaching out and we're sharing our products, especially right now during tax season. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night. Thanks.
Night, team. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.